Hello, this is OverlordBou, back with another ship review video, and today we'll be covering the first hybrid DD in World of Warships, the Tier 9 US Premium, the Halford. Now the Halford, alongside the West Virginia 44, will be available as part of an event to celebrate the US Independence Day. Both ships are available for direct purchase through doubloons, event tokens, and through special containers. Which these special containers, which I will be giving out starting whenever the event starts, so it should be today on Friday, so you can come by my stream and I'll be giving out these containers during the stream and so on and so forth until I'm out of them. So good luck with that. These containers also have a chance to get you a Georgia and other ship goodies, so definitely excited for that as well. Now, the DD-4480 Halford was commissioned in 1943 and was one of the 3 Fletcher-class destroyers to experiment with the DD float plane concept. The idea was to use the float plane to scout for the DD flotilla she was attached to. To accomplish this, the catapult and aircraft crane replaced the aft torpedo tube and middle 5-inch turret. Ultimately, this concept was not successful, and the Halford was converted back into the standard Fletcher configuration. She would continue to serve the rest of the war in this configuration, earning 13 battle stars before being decommissioned in 1946. In World of Warships, Halford represented in her 1943 experimental configuration. As the first hybrid DD, will Halford be more successful than her IRL counterparts? Keep watching to find out the answer. As usual, first I will show my recommended build, go over the ship stats, and finally answer the question of whether she is worth it or not. Here is my captain build shown on the top right. I would definitely recommend RPF to help you locate enemy DDs with your planes. Otherwise, it is a standard DD build that also works with other US DDs. The ship hull itself is weak for a Fletcher class DD. While she is fast at 38 knots and turns pretty well, her concealment is poor at 6.1 kilometers, which puts her at a disadvantage at Tier 9. Halford also lacks in firepower department with 20% less gun DPM and only 1 rack of torpedoes that have a 90-second reload. Ugh. The gun dispersion will be shown on the top right.
Problem solved, sir.
Granted, these torpedoes have a 13.5 kilometer range and hit hard, but it still is only 1 rack. You also have the US smoke and depth charges are nice, but it doesn't compensate for her Tier 8 firepower. Instead, her unique tactical attack plane is supposed to compensate, providing unparalleled levels of spotting for a DD. They behave similarly to the Kearsarge rockets, but with less HP and 50% less damage, and also have a 5.5 second delay from when you first fire the rockets to when they actually are going to be hitting the target. These rockets do, though, have good for perma spotting and finishing off low HP targets, but don't expect much damage from them, and especially don't try to hit DDs with them. With that over 5.5 second delay, it's going to be almost impossible to hit DDs. Unless you're a god, of course. Instead, but overall, I'd pretty much say it's pretty easy to see why the US Navy moved away from the spotter plane DD concept. The loss of firepower just isn't worth the increased spotting, and that holds true in game as well. Balancing between the attack planes and controlling the ship is very difficult. You can lose half your HP from walking into a torpedo or radar cruiser while you're busy flying the plane. And it definitely sucks as a Tier 9 DD, so you have to play into her plane gimmick, which deals surprisingly poor damage. Halford excels at fighting other DDs, but that's about it. Any other Fletcher will outperform it outside of the funny plane gimmick. So I would say that the Halford is a great support DD in a division. Her cruisers can use your American smoke to farm, while she uses the planes for spotting. But as a solo DD, she definitely requires too much effort for too little gain. You have to go all in at counting other DDs, but Halford has so little damage output, she needs her allies to help out. A recipe that's not known for much success. So overall, I would say that the Halford is more of just a ship that pays too much for its gimmick. the planes do too little damage and also are very low health. So it's very, very hard to be able to do a lot of damage output with them or do long-term spotting on DDs. Only having 4 guns also makes it quite difficult to do a ton of damage with them against other DDs. So you're kind of at a disadvantage in some DD fights in that regard. It can be definitely very, very, very painful indeed. And also with a 6.1 concealment, it also makes it difficult to fight or permaspot the DDs without the planes. So it's definitely a disadvantage in that regard. So pretty much I see this ship as a pretty much nerfed Fletcher with a plane hybrid gimmick. And that's pretty much how I see it. So if you're trying to go over this Independence Day event and you're trying to get one of the ships, the West Virginia 44 or the Halford, I would definitely say that the West Virginia 44 is a lot more fun and enjoyable of an experience over the Halford. But I'll let you guys decide that from watching the gameplay here or from watching both of my reviews or other people's reviews. One thing that I will say for certain for future advice from my videos or anyone's videos you ever watch is not really to see how what we say too much, but think about how the STs, people that normally play these ships, like before, during testing, you know, during all their phases and the final phase of their testing before the ships get released, see how many of the STs actually get the ships. As in, just seeing how many of them actually buy them or get them. If you see STs normally getting the ships, that normally means that the ship is going to be a decent ship. If you're not seeing a lot of STs getting the ships, that normally means that the ship is not very good. And that's kind of what I use for seeing how popular a ship is or not, is just by seeing how many of the STs that are known in the community are either buying the ships or not. Because of course, they can't give their opinions on the ships. That would be against their NDA, which they are not allowed to do, and they can get in huge trouble for that. But what they do is they just, they just buy the ship, and if they buy it, that normally means that the ship is decent. And if it's not good, then they're normally not going to buy it. And it's pretty simple to see it off of that. So those are just some ways to be able to tell how good or bad a ship is just from seeing that. So if you ever are interested in a ship and you don't know to trust the reviews of the people you're seeing or just for people in general, all you have to do is just look around. If you know any STs in the community, look at their profiles and see if they bought the ship. And if they have the ship, then most likely that means that they like it. And see how often they play it. And that will pretty much speak volumes in how good or bad a ship is for that. But also, again, you also put it in this perspective, not everyone's gonna like every kind of ship. That's why I said multiples STs. Now, like, someone may like only more of a torpedo boat, someone may like only more of a gunboat, or they like different kinds of ships, so that can also play a factor. So normally it's best to look at multiple STs and not just one, so that you can kind of have a whole spectrum. And that's kind of my opinion for that, for future ships and such, for that regard. I normally think that's kind of the best way to see if a ship is good or bad, is just seeing how many people actually get it or not. But now in this particular match, I did have a lot of trouble doing damage. And yeah, I also did a really poor job with the rockets. Yeah. I still did about almost 5K-ish there. That's okay. That's okay. I did almost 5K. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But he did DCP us, so it's kind of a rip in that regard. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything in general, just let me know. Also, I do have a question though. Do you guys like the West Virginia camo more or the Halford camo more? Or are you guys not a fan of them both? I honestly think that the art department really missed out on adding special horns to these ships. I really feel like they could have added special horns and have the flames or ice coming out of the exhaust like they did for the King Kong and Godzilla event. So for instance, the Halford has more of like an ice or blue flame feel. So they could have added blue flames that come out when it does the horn, and maybe does like a special sound for the horn. And for the West Virginia, they could have added like a red exhaust coming out of the horn, like out of the exhaust when you do the horn, or having a special horn for that since it's more of like a Phoenix. And I feel like that'd be a really cool addition if they actually did that, but at this point it's kind of too late, so I don't really expect it to happen. Am I gonna? Yeah, I get one. Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
But no, though, I do appreciate y'all watching my videos. If you guys have any tips or anything you think that I should do more in the future to help out with these kind of reviews, I would definitely appreciate your guys' advice, because I am trying to improve my videos over time. So you guys have any like small tips or tips you think I should do to help increase the quality of these videos, I would greatly appreciate the input, because I am trying to make better videos over time, of course, for you all, do better with the reviews. Because, you know, I'm trying to be as accurate these reviews as I possibly can, for you all to enjoy them and have the most information possible. Because there are a lot of other YouTubers that will do these reviews. So I always do appreciate you all watching mine and supporting me by watching them. I'm just trying to think if I can add anything else. Oh yeah, but yeah, whenever the event starts to where I believe it's this Friday, since Independence Day is going to be coming up. CCs, like all of us CCs, will be getting the special containers to be able to, like, these container codes for the event that have a chance of dropping a Halford, Georgia, and other special ships from it, from the container. So it's definitely worth it to try to watch these and try to get those event containers. I'll definitely be streaming on Friday. Well, today is Friday when the video goes out. I'll be streaming the day around 2:30 p.m. EST, and I'll be doing these code giveaways throughout the stream. So it'll definitely be a lot of fun doing that, and you guys can definitely try to get some of these goodies. It'll be a lot of fun for sure. I do like giving back and trying to give back to the community, and just giving you guys a lot of, for just trying to say thanks for all the growth that I do and such. I'll probably do a few of the code giveaways also on my Discord, just to get them getting out there, because I'm not sure how many codes I will be getting, but I'll probably be trying to give them out over the weekend during the July 4th weekend. I actually forgot that it was the July 4th weekend. Oh man, wow, I actually forgot that. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to plan that out. I will admit though, I think I did a really terrible job at aiming these rockets. Like, good lord, man. Ugh. I am gonna say though that this Nebraska, man, I was playing this on stream today, since the NDA, well, not today, but I was playing this on Wednesday whenever the NDA broke, and my lord, we were all, my whole chat and I were just wondering what the hell was this Nebraska doing. I feel like when he saw me rushing in, he tried to switch over to HE and just never got his reload off in time, or he just never got his aim off, because if you just watch this, he legit doesn't even, he doesn't shoot once. So it seems like he was switching over to HE instead of just doing an AP salvo and then switching to HE. It seems like he was just switching over to HE, but then his guns, like if you look, it looks like his guns weren't able to turn quick enough. And it just got him killed. It's like, oh Lord. Yeah, that poor dude, man. Yeah, that was very, very painful. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that that play in a normal circumstance, but I got extremely lucky here, and he really messed up there and got kind of greedy. Instead of just doing the shot, instead of doing the initial AP shot while turning out, he kind of just tried to switch over to HE and kind of cost him, because he didn't get to kill me. Because if he would have shot me with AP, he would have killed me before I, well, I may have gotten my torps off, but he definitely would have been able to kill me, because the secondaries were hitting me. It just seemed really, really strange And it was probably like something he'll figure out over time on that mistake. He'll be able to figure out. He'll be okay. But yeah, so there's any, also to note, is there any new game modes you guys are enjoying, like brawls? I know there's a new brawls, like the 2v2 tier 8s that are going on that people are enjoying, and I also got a CV kill here too, which is pretty nice. Even though I was saying earlier, I don't really get that, you don't really get that much damage in this ship, I did do an impressive amount of damage for how low DPM this match was. I was pretty impressed with myself on this one, but 50-60k of it did come from that one battleship, so I'll take that. I'll take that one for sure. But this was a pretty nice, clean sweep match. It was kind of a pretty much, let's say, a blowout match per se. Let's just call it a blowout match. I'll take it. I'll take it. A win's a win. That's all I can say. A win is a win. Any second now. All right, cool. I also like the new victory logo or defeat one that pops up. I think it's a really nice touch. It's something that World of Tanks has had for a very long time, so it's pretty neat. But yeah, I did 118k damage, 4 kills, 6 torpedo hits. Nice. And I was second on the team with 1675. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments down below. This is the OverlordBou, and I'll talk to y'all later. Blah!